listening to the AfterBuzz TV Network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Gene. Johnson.
The AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California. Presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AfterBuzz TV's Twisted After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's Twisted After Show.
Yes. This was the song from the end of the episode.
What, it was on the chorus. We wanted to go out with a bang.
I'm sorry that I didn't put it on the chorus. Guys, you know what? We just started off with them defying me on the season finale of Twisted. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. I am so happy to be here for the after show for the finale of season 1 of Twisted. This is season 1, episode 19, A Tale of Two Confessions, which, as we know, is a take on the famous Chinese novel, A Tale of Two Cities. Guys, the season's over. I'm sad, but I'm looking forward to the possibility of season 2. I'm your host, Stephen Lemieux, joined here today by my amazing co-host, Lina Green.
Lina Green. Love saying my name.
On the other side, across the pond, per se, we have Erica J. Green.
Thank you, Stephen.
And we have a special treat for you today. You may know her from a little show called ABC Family's Twisted. I don't know if you've watched it before. She's pretty good in it. She dates that friend zone guy named Rico as Andie Dang. We have Cynthy Wu in studio with us tonight. Thank you so much for joining us today. I know it was a little bit last minute to get you on here, but I'm so glad you could join us today.
Thank you for having me.
And I want to just go ahead and shout this out because it is the finale episode. If you guys want to keep in contact with us while it's off season, while we're waiting for season 2 to be renewed, or for it to be renewed, you can follow me on Twitter at Stephen Lemieux, StephenLemieux. Lina
You
at
can follow me at Just Lina Green on Instagram and Twitter.
Erica.
And Erica J. Green on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook.
And she does not have enough followers, so you need to follow Cynthy Wu on Twitter. And it's just at Cynthy Wu.
At Cynthy Wu. It's a tricky name.
It is.
Cynthy. People are always like, Sydney?
Yeah.
Sydney? No.
CYNTHYWU.
You got it.
Knock
Yes.
that out. Add her on Twitter, follow her on Twitter, and support her because, I mean, it's great to see, like, new actresses popping up. Every year we see new actresses who move on to bigger and greater things, and I love getting in right at that point and meeting the person before they become the huge person we know they're all going to be. So it's always a fun experience to meet people whose career just blossoming. So this episode, guys,
I loved it.
I loved it.
It was the best one yet. Now I'm like waiting for season 2 it has to come back now.
And
Yeah.
I'm glad we went off in this, like, with this kind of action, with this kind of emotion.
A lot
Yes,
going.
I cried. Erica made fun of me. I was really emotional yesterday
Lame.
anyway, but I cried. I know, because I
Look
felt
at
so
Steven's
bad. I don't want to
face.
give away the end, but I felt so bad what happened at the end. Well, I've already seen it.
Yeah.
With Charlie.
if you haven't watched the episode, please watch the episode before you watch the after show.
Thank you.
It's called an after show.
Thank you for that.
No, well, they were tweeting me before I watched it because I had put it on recording, and I was like, can't read these tweets. They were tweeting about what was going on. I was like,
I got like a huge string of tweets,
They were
and
on
I
it
was just like, okay, ignoring, because I watched it today at noon, so I
Yeah.
was
Oh, you
like,
did?
I kind of wanted to be fresh on my mind. I thought last episode was better, but I did like the finale. Like I don't want to surface that with like a negative thing, but I thought last episode was just so like pack, suspense. So
What
much
did
stuff.
you like about it specifically?
I just kind of liked the degradation of Charlie's character and him going into craziness. And then this episode was more him just being crazy.
oh my God.
And I did like the awkward oak tree. We got a return of the awkward oak tree.
But Joe kept looking at every tree, and she was like, Charlie.
I need to bring my pepper spray when I walk out of here, by the way.
Seriously, I would have.
It was
Terrifying.
It was like, there he is again.
Yeah.
She's looking around. I'm like, I know it. I know
Just
he's
run,
waiting
Joe.
there.
That's what I wanted to say. Just run. on.
They must have had like cut. Okay, now look around, scared again, because he's out there watching.
They must have listened to last week and like they love the awkward oak tree. We gotta film this pickup right now.
For Stephen.
Oh my gosh.
So this episode, why don't you go ahead and tell us how it starts out? Like what? I mean, this is the finale. Go ahead and run this along a little bit, Lina.
Okay, it starts out.
Charlie doing the push-ups, looking at Joe.
Looking at Joe.
Just craziness from the
Creepy.
beginning.
I pointed out his picture thing, his little
Shrine.
awkward shrine with pictures, but this was like in your face.
Face.
I'm crazy. I'm doing push-ups looking at Joe, his obsession coming to real life. So that's how it starts off, and it kind of gives us way to what's really going to happen here.
Yeah.
It's going to be a climax of this character blowing up.
Oh, can we just give me a little pat on the back? My prediction was right about Charlie. I knew this.
Let's
I
not
said this
skip ahead, though.
several times. I just wanted to say that. I should be giving
About-
kudos because the saying that there wasn't a daughter that Tess had, it was a son.
Yeah, give yourself
And
a
that
pat on the
Charlie
back
was- Thank you.
because I was actually the first one to say that.
Stephen said that.
Totally
That's what I
was.
Stephen, actually, you deterred away from me.
I
You were
said it like
"No,
6
that's too
episodes
much."
ago.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay, Stephen, you can have this one.
We'll take half credit.
I kind of felt like when I
We
watched
can
this
pat each other's backs.
I kind of felt like when I saw this episode, I was like, they must have been listening to us and just changed everything. Because everything
We
seemed
said a
like
lot
what
of stuff.
we predicted in the past shows was like, everything came to the forefront in this last episode.
Oh, yeah.
And it was like, what? Did we just write that? That's what I was thinking the whole time. I was like, what? That did not just happen. Like, it was a lot of stuff that just surprised me, but it was like, we already had predicted, but it still surprised me.
Yeah.
So we started out with Charlie, so we might as well just break through Charlie's storyline before, except for the finale scene. I mean, the final
on that,
scene.
yeah.
We'll wait on that before every story comes together because literally every story just.
Yeah.
Everything came together, and I love how all of the characters, well, all of those characters were all there for that final, like, weigh-in, kind of, like.
I'm still a little confused on Jack and Whitney, but we'll touch on that later. I was still a little
Oh,
confused.
Jack
at
and
the end of
Whitney's.
it.
Yeah, we got a whole storyline with them.
Okay.
So Charlie is descending into madness. He's just thinking about Joe. He can't get her off his mind because push-ups just motivation right there.
That's what crazy people do.
He tries to talk to her again. She's not having it. She's like, dude, this is not, like, get away from me.
Yeah.
And then he's outside her window, and Danny sees it. We'll get into that, Janny fans. Don't bite my head off for not jumping right on that.
Janny.
And then he kidnaps her. I mean, so he's just all about the crazy.
But
Yeah.
wait, can I point out before that, when he first comes out, was that not the awkward thing? He's hiding behind the tree. He's like, well, hello. Just like, come on, man. Just like, come on.
I love how Joe is showing no fear now. In the
Yeah.
past, we rag on Joe, but she's showing no fear. Like, oh no, I'm scared. No, she's like, can you leave me alone,
Yeah, she's
Charlie?
being more
like,
direct.
Seriously?
She's
Yeah.
being a lot more direct.
But that is a character flaw with Joe that I'm not a big fan of, is that she's just so
Passive.
flip-floppy. It goes from hating Danny to loving Danny to hating Danny to loving Danny, liking Charlie and absolutely hating Danny, and then she's like, oh, I hate Charlie and I love Danny again.
He's crazy.
It's confusing. I mean, she's a teenage girl. She's, in love with him. And at the same time, there's a part of her, I'm sure, that wants to distance herself. And then this attractive guy who does push-ups and hides behind trees comes into her world. I mean, come on.
Who could say no?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But no, I think I relate to Joe's character a lot. I think, I think it's her actions are justified because nothing is black and white. And I don't know. I guess I relate to her while I'm watching.
We all have a
That makes
Danny
sense.
in our life.
Exactly.
I get what you're saying. We all
Exactly.
have one.
And I think Charlie says something that kind of she couldn't fault him for the way he felt about her. The way he was like, I saw you. You seem sad just like me. Like I felt like
like
we
I'm
were
not like you.
kind of the same. He didn't say they were the same, but he was like, I felt like we were like kindred
Yeah.
spirits.
He
you know?
is sad. Charlie is sad.
And
but-
that kind of, you have to feel bad for Charlie. You can't totally hate Charlie's character. You
absolutely.
can't.
Absolutely.
Like, you really can't. He came from a bad situation.
yeah.
And it all started with Vikram.
Oh, Vic, you
God.
hate
Even
Vikram.
after death, he's
After
still.
death.
I mean, I'm
tormenting him.
just saying it. Like his whole situation started from Vikram,
Yeah.
and his whole life was ruined by the sole fact of being adopted by Tara.
Yeah.
I mean, he could have
you
been
didn't know.
he could have been anyone else's kid. He could have been that nice family in that Eventown or whatever it was called. Could have been their son, but no, he's adopted by a woman who's obviously sketchy, has something going on with Marna Industries, and is killed by the person who adopted, killed by Vikram, and that sets his life on the path of trying to get revenge, and that ruins his life. Vikram, the whole concept of Vikram giving the child to Tara ruined his life.
Yeah, you know, I'm still kind of confused with Charlie. Like, so what was his main reason of going after Danny? After he figured out it wasn't Danny who killed his mother, why was he still trying to destroy his life? Like, what was the point of that? He
wasn't trying to destroy Danny's life. He just wanted to be a part of it.
And
he's crazy, though.
He's mentally unstable, I think it's clear to say at this point. And, you know, he fell in love with Joe, and in a way, he wanted to have what Danny had. Like a community, a group of friends, a family, you know, and when you don't have
just went about it the wrong way.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think there's a really human part of him that when he was having his lapse, you know, and going crazy with Joe, it's like you could see how he just really needed love. Yeah.
My whole question at this point is how Danny didn't know he had a cousin. Because if Tara had the baby and raised I keep wanting to say Jack, but Charlie, and raised Charlie, then why wouldn't Danny know about his existence?
He didn't.
Maybe she didn't raise, because he grew up in another town.
Yeah, they never said that Tara raised him.
No, Tara did raise him, but they had another apartment in the city. So
I know, but my mom has sisters and my dad has brothers and sisters, and I know every single one of their kids. Like, I know them. Like, I don't even if I don't personally know them, I know of them. So I feel like if Danny had a cousin named Charlie,
that was in the same facility.
But look at the situation. Like, this is his dad is clearly a secretive person. Has this whole culture.
Yeah, that's true.
So I mean, this is a completely different situation.
More secrets. Yeah.
And his dad obviously didn't like Tara, so I'm assuming they didn't have a very good relationship.
No.
Which is
the only thing tying them together is a jump rope at this point.
That was so wrong. There's so wrong with that.
Too soon, guys.
Yeah, we're still kind of aching from that.
I'm interested to see how Marna Industries does come into this. I really hope they bring that storyline back in season 2 with Jack and Whitney being involved in that.
Yeah.
So let's kind of did we forget anything with Charlie when he breaks down his past and kind of who he is?
I mean, really, the rest of it is at the end of the episode that really gives light to Charlie's situation. And
yeah, because he just says, I was adopted by Tara. She was my mom. You killed my mom. I stole a car to get in juvie. Months of planning to get into your cell with you, only to realize that your dad's the one that killed her. And then now your dad's dead. It's like...
Yeah, what's funny about Charlie's character, it moves the story. Like, his character gave so much information.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It was like, and it connects so many dots that you had questions about. I was like, oh, well, this is why that happened. This is why that... So there was just a lot of information coming from Charlie's character.
And it's also interesting to compare the two characters of Charlie and Danny, because they're two sides of the same coin in some respects, in that Danny went to juvie after taking the fall for killing Tara, and Danny's sole purpose after that was to get revenge on his father, and talked about how he always wanted to kill his father. And then you look at Charlie, who didn't kill anyone. He went into juvie to get revenge, only to find out that it's like... it's the wrong person. Yeah. And then Danny is the one who ends up getting Charlie's revenge in the end, when Danny didn't even mean to, and Charlie's the one who wanted to kill him.
Which I don't know why Charlie wouldn't have Danny's back. He's got your revenge for you. He just killed the man who
killed your mom.
No, destroyed your life.
Yeah.
Basically, and he's still like, well, even when Joe was asking him, she was like, why didn't you just tell the truth? Like, why didn't you come forward? It's like, well, I didn't want to. That still wasn't clear, but I think because he's so out of his mind that we're not going to get clear answers on that, because his character is when you have characters like that you're not going to ever get a clear, like, what's really going on up there when they're mentally.
Yeah, you would know, Lina.
Hashtag truth.
Thank you.
Why do you have to do that?
So let's talk about Joe, since she.
Since she we totally forgot to talk about her confessing at the end of the last episode, and fans called us out on that. Yeah, she totally was like, hey, I was there too, Mom.
Well, it's all about me again. Like the main, but that started the show for this episode.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what we'll talk about now. Like, she confesses in order to get Danny's alleviate.
Or just to get some light onto herself, as usual, Joe's way.
You know, that's your opinion on Joe. I feel like this is...
I still felt like she was doing that again. Like, Danny's still going through so much. He confessed too in a big way, which now he's ended up in jail. Of course, we know Joe wasn't going to end up in jail for, she was just there.
I mean, she didn't end up in jail, but Danny's doing this whole thing where he has to have the weight of the world on his shoulders. You're 16, 17, you have all these friends, and Joe stepped up to help him out. So you can't fault her for that.
Yeah.
You got to applaud her and say,
absolutely,
good job, Joe.
We just got to realize you're trying to keep her from getting involved, but she's involved. Like you can't keep saying I'm trying to keep you from being involved. She's involved. The moment you didn't tell her and yell at her to go home that night, she showed up when you were with Vikram.
He did, but
she didn't. She ignored it. But like the moment that she was there that night with Vikram, she was involved.
Yeah.
And that's completely involved. And that's what was kind of like mind-boggling is when she's like went on this rampage of like, I'm not involved in this, Danny, but we can't tell anyone.
I'm trying to live my life normally.
We can't
run for student council president. I just want to be a normal girl again. I'm like, really, in the midst of all this, you want some normality?
We got to ask Andie. How did you feel about her stepping on your toes?
Yeah, throw some shade to your running mate, please.
I was definitely nervous. I was like, what? Like, I have nothing on this girl. I have buttons, okay? I have cool pins and buttons. Like, nobody's going to vote for me. And that guy has pizza. Oh, my gosh.
You have a sharp wardrobe, and I was telling you about that before the show started. That's what you had against Joe, because they dressed your character to the T.
Like, trying to dress you like you were on Gossip Girl, kind of. Like,
it was
type
dope.
of outfits.
I mean, there were a lot of vintage outfits. I love wardrobe and like all the time that they put to like dress me in these vintage things. But I had so much fun.
Sorry, we have to take a segue.
I care nothing for the fashion.
Yeah,
I two guys out there.
I had fun with the clothes. I definitely think I had some of the more interesting outfits.
You and Lacey have like the opposite spectrum here. Like you're the more vintage, and she's the very like Michelle Obama and
Michelle Obama.
That one outfit for the date with Danny.
She straight stole that from the White House.
Like really?
I would say she was more obviously modern and like hip girl.
Vogue and.
But I don't know about Michelle Obama.
Yeah, I would have said the way they dressed Danny though. He had that like back in the day. It's like what is going on?
I love that though. He has so many quirky like, and it's he kind of dresses like that in real life. He kind of has this very interesting sense of fashion.
And they just brought it over.
Probably.
That's
funny.
I think the only time I've seen him in person, he was like in a 3-piece like white suit, like with scarves and stuff, and I was like, that's fairly eccentric. All right.
Where'd you see him? At like Gelson's?
No, it was at a bar down in Studio City.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it's just kind of like it's interesting to see how the fashion does carry over, and it's totally with the hair and everything. Yeah.
I think it's funny that they found this character, Charlie's character, who I mentioned. They kind of mirror each other. They don't look alike, but they're kind of the same type of look.
Guy.
And so to find out that they're related, now it's kind of like, it makes sense.
It makes sense. Yeah.
It makes sense, and their personalities. I mean, Danny's not crazy. But Danny started showing that kind of.
Obsessive. Yeah, he started obsessing over Charlie.
I gotta get. He has that behavior that Charlie has. So I'm interested to see how they flush that out.
If they do, yeah.
When they, reconcile. Do you think they'll reconcile Charlie and? Well, he's went over the line now.
Well, now that he knows they're related, I'm sure Danny's like, okay, obviously, he's been through a lot. Maybe I'll reconcile with my cousin.
We'll be cool. You're talking about the guy who killed his dad.
Stephen.
That's the thing he does every show. He's like, you killed my
We started that again because someone tweeted, oh, I love Stephen's voice.
And we got so many YouTube comments saying they like it and that you two can just be quiet.
We hate it.
Andie, I mean...
I'll respond with Andie.
Cynthy, will you join me in a celebratory I killed my father?
Don't do it. Brienne wouldn't do it.
She wouldn't do it. Okay, maybe I won't do it. Maybe I do it. The girl scared me. Someone's gonna make it into like a meme, and it'll follow me for like the rest of my life.
The rest of your life.
The rest of my life.
Well, it's followed me for the past 4 weeks of my life. I'll tell you that right now. So we're talking about Joe, and we're talking about Joe, and we were talking about the election with you as well. So Joe is he goes to talk to Rico about everything that's going on because crazy stuff, and Joe kind of Screws up.
Yeah.
Always messing with Rico's relationships unintentionally.
Yeah, yeah.
And your character did kind of come out of the woodwork with the episode where you decide to go get a lot of rope from.
Why do you always?
I don't know. That's what I remember most from that episode. Is just you walking down the hallway with that bundle
Well,
of.
the camera was like right on the rope and like me dragging
The way
it.
they shot it, it was so crazy.
It was amazing.
Scary.
Oh, you saw it as scary?
The way they shot,
Oh,
because
yeah.
they made the music, and then you're like dragging this huge
And no, it's just
rope.
Andie getting ready for homecoming.
So
Anyway.
when you found out about this role, like what was the character breakdown for Andie Dang when you find out about it when you're auditioning, and what kind of characters did you really study to kind of get it down right to know the good balance of completely crazy and
Quirky. No, she's quirky.
not crazy, completely quirky, nerdy, and still likable.
Yeah.
Well, I guess the character breakdown, it was just they were looking for a nerdy, sweet, shy girl, but smart, she can stand her ground when she wants to. And I guess I didn't really have to do much work. I unfortunately, I didn't have to go sit in an island and like work on method or anything. I just remembered what it felt like, probably
Yo, Friday night.
last weekend, pretty much. No, yeah, it was just tapping into like the nerdy, side of me, which is probably 50%.
Okay.
And yeah, just living in the nerves of like liking a guy and feeling like he doesn't even know you exist.
Yeah.
Which I don't know about you guys, but I can speak for myself. That's happened to me many a time.
Oh, you're such a pretty girl.
It hasn't happened to me.
I
I usually don't like guys.
Oh my god, I can't with you.
Anyway,
But yeah, it was fun.
how many auditions did it take? Because I know Brianna was telling us it was like 4 or 5
Yeah, it
for
was
hers.
crazy.
Yeah, gosh, there was the audition, the callback, the chemistry read, and yeah, so it was three auditions, I guess, before I found out. But yes, I was just hanging on a thread, like, come on.
You're so Andie, though. And I love what you bring to the character. Like, even with, on the slide, you try to throw Joe some shade, but you do it so sweetly. You're like, hey, Joe. Oh, you're here. Here you are again, talking to Rico, my man's face. Okay, Joe.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, yeah, she's obviously so likable, and I don't think they need another cat fight on the show.
Well, I don't know. In this episode, Andie's character looked a little perturbed.
I was
because-
upset.
Once again, Rico was caught up with Joe, as we saw in this episode, and
And he was late,
late.
super late to dinner.
know.
When he first came, I thought y'all were just sitting down for that dinner scene,
Yeah.
and it happened
How do
that
you
y'all
lose
were.
track? Yeah, I was like, how do you lose track of time like that?
Because he loves Joe, and as much.
they're making Joe the hot girl.
Oh, I know.
Just stop, John.
No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't.
No, I mean
tell her.
honestly, it's that first love thing, and
Yeah.
and it plays off in your character very well because you know that he likes Joe,
Yeah.
and it's just kind of it's a sad thing because you know that in a heartbeat he would drop you to go for Joe.
Yeah, yeah.
that's really
Probably.
mean.
I mean, that's partially. I mean, when she was competing against me in the presidency, it wasn't just about the election. It was everything that Joe represents. It's the girl that I can't be. And I'm just Andie. So take it for what it is. It's sort
And
of
you're
that.
so innocent. You're like Rico. We can't go to your apartment. We can't see this movie.
The virgin suicides.
What an awkward scene. It was like, why are you acting
Yeah.
weird? 'Cause I'm
Did the chemistry test help when you had to do that scene?
We didn't have to do that scene for the chemistry test, thank God. But the chemistry test was great, I think, in that we were both awkward. And again, I didn't have to try. I'm pretty sure I started the scene before the camera started rolling, and I was like, what's going on?
knowing that he's dating one of the leads in the show. How was that like?
I mean, they were really cool
Did y'all have
about
to
it.
kiss in the chemistry?
No. I mean, it was.
in your business.
What'd you talk about? Anybody got time for that?
I love her. She's like,
No, I mean, they were cool about it. So,
Yeah.
I mean, she's super cool. So, It wasn't weird or anything. And our kisses were so innocent. They were like pecks. It wasn't like HBO. Like, ba-na-na-na. It wasn't like, you know.
That music is what they play?
Yeah. This is apparently my sexy dance.
Oh, yeah. Looks like
You could go to New York with that. Find some married 40-year-old dude.
They should have brought you into that scene with
Oh my gosh, that would be amazing.
It's like Whitney and Lacey are in New York and like, is that Andie over there with like
Hey, bounty shot. Doing that dance. You love it.
Oh, that would have been a twist. So you do have a lot of, as a guest star role, you get brought into the show and you have a lot of scenes with the lead actors of the show. I mean, you're essentially a lead actor in the show now. Are there any talks of what your role will be if they do a season 2, or do you not really, or you can't talk about that?
I haven't heard anything, and even if I did, I wouldn't be able to say.
okay.
But
You like how I slipped the hard question in like
yeah.
I love her face change.
No, I haven't heard anything, but
Do they tell you anything about to plan for how your character's acting? Do they tell you anything about the future of your character in case there's a season 2, or no? They don't tell you anything at all. Just the scripts you get.
Just pretty much, and then we have the table reads, and you know they're available. They were available at the table reads if we wanted to talk to them, but they're very secretive, so they keep it under wraps.
It's twisted.
It's twisted. You have to watch to find out.
Oh my god.
Look at Stephen just wants so much information.
I think it's so funny because I used to be the one to be like twisted at the first half of the season, and now I haven't done it, and so do you know?
I know.
So, what were we?
I know.
I can just imagine how awkward it was with you guys, like just as actors, like working together, acting as you're awkward to do that. Not literally awkward, but you know, as two awkward people. Portraying two awkward.
What are you saying?
Portraying two awkward
Steven's
people
weird.
and being together in a relationship, because it's like there's so much of that like
That awkward energy, but then it's like, is that what you're saying?
yeah, because it's hard to play that off so well. Yeah, I know. Okay, you know what? You can decide where we're going next, Lina. I'll just pass it off to you again.
Well, I'm guessing, Tess. That's where we're going.
Tess.
Oh, yeah.
Let's drive the train to Tess Town. All right.
And I guess, can we just put Karen in there? Because there's so many scenes with her and Karen. They're doing this bonding thing now. And it was like, it reminded me of something of like, what is the Desperate Housewives? Because they're doing this whole
They have something going
bonding.
on. Every time they have Tess and Karen in the same scene, it just seems like something else is
Throwing
going on.
casseroles, getting
It's like
fights.
it's something different from the rest of the show. And I'm like,
So we broke this desk and Vikram had something in it. Really, Vikram, you
So-
hide something everywhere.
This is a little too obvious for me.
Yeah.
I'm
I
sorry.
knew you- I knew-
As soon as they took out the sledgehammer, I'm like, they're gonna find something.
they're
That's-
going to bam the desk open, or they're going to start kicking something around and find something.
And it was the checks that connected to, you know, gave Tess the
doctor.
information. So, yeah, it was a useful piece of information, but like you said, Stevie, yeah, a little bit obvious.
But they kind of had to have it that way. It's like,
No, I know it ties everything together, and it doesn't drag it out, which is great.
Yes.
I'm not complaining about its obviousness. I'm just saying that like, oh, they're at the desk. They're gonna find something at the desk. You know it. They got a sledgehammer. plus anything that gets me to see Denise Richards with a big ass sledgehammer, I'm down.
obsession with Denise Richards.
What, guys? I'm sorry. I'm a guy.
we know, Steven.
Anyway, so they start banging on the desk. They find these checks that date back from all the stuff that happened with. Didn't they mention Martin at this?
$100,000, man,
For
to hide a baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Which, I mean.
And they didn't really go into like why it was so extensive. Like why
did he
what
do it?
prompted
Why
him
did he
to do
trade
that?
the babies?
You know,
Maybe it's gonna come to light in season 2. Hopefully.
I really hope so.
Yeah.
I'd like to find out some secrets myself.
I want to get down to the bottom of this.
We're like, why?
Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
something big that I kind of wish they would have just went ahead and told us.
hinted to.
Yeah, because it's a huge thing. Like, why does Vikram go through these lengths
yeah.
to destroy people close to him? Why? And some people said he was a good guy.
Yeah.
So you get this conflict with this guy. Like, we don't know if he's good, he's bad. He's just
Is he
dead.
doing stuff for a reason?
Yeah.
And who was the baby that died? Like,
I think that baby's gone.
I should never say that sentence again. But like, who was that baby? Like, how was that connected to Vikram, and how did he find a baby to just randomly call someone else and give it away? Like, that's my question that I don't know.
Yeah.
Because he's dead now, I'm assuming they can't really bring Vikram back. I feel like...
I keep thinking
And
they
dreams
are. I
and-
keep thinking he's gonna be alive. I keep thinking this.
Because they killed him so abruptly, like coming into the second half of the first season.
Yeah.
They just, you know.
Well, we're still trying to figure out why he killed Tara. That's still a theme. We don't know at
Yeah.
all. The very first thing they showed us in the show was Tara being
killed. Yeah.
and Danny taking the fall for it. Now that we know Vikram actually killed her, we don't know why he killed her.
Yeah. Did Charlie? I'm trying to think. Did Charlie allude to something? He was like, she knew something.
Well, we knew that she knew something. We just don't
something.
know what she
yeah,
knew.
what it was.
Yeah.
I don't. Who knows if we're gonna get that answer? But
So many questions. Meanwhile, Kyle Masterson's on the case.
Kyle's doing his job
Kyle
to the T
is
now.
kicking
you can't
butt
even hang
now.
out with him.
He's being fairly biased with Danny, which is a good thing because I mean
Yeah.
he knows it was self-defense, but it's also kind of like,
How to prove
well,
it.
it's like, what am I going to do with Charlie? And especially when Danny's been telling him that Charlie is the one who hid the body, or like staged the accident, and then we find out that it was
It
actually
was really
Jack, really, in
yeah.
the end.
But Jack is
me.
working with Charlie, so who could say if they both,
That
you know, if
threw
he
me
didn't help
too.
him out.
So Charlie, Jack,
and Whitney
Yeah.
are in cahoots together, apparently. I was just at the end, I was like, what is going
I kind of wish
on?
they saved that for the next season, just so because that was a lot for me. The end was a lot, but then throwing that in was so much for me.
Yeah.
At this point,
It was a lot. I'll say that. I mean, I think
He just repeated it.
no,
A lot.
He said it with such emphasis that you were like conviction. Like,
Lina, I don't think you understand the allotness of this right here. It was a lot.
magnitude of the
The
allotment.
magnitude of how much a lot this is.
yeah.
Maybe too much. But I know what they were doing. I know that the writers were trying to get that real big impact to push for season 2. They want people to watch this and be like, where is season 2?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it works, but it also seems like the whole thing. Let's go into the final scene because we can go back if we need to. So Danny shows up with his ankle bracelet. Kyle calls him like, "Hey, I missed your call." I was like, "Where are you?" He's like, "I'm on the road. Bye." Hangs up. They finally go to Charlie's childhood home, which is this terrible beat up place.
Yeah.
Where he-
Probably just went to hell after Tara died and nobody was making payments or something and it's foreclosed on. He broke in or whatever it needs to be. With Joe, he's explaining everything. Danny jumps in with Lacey.
Why would he do? Who? Danny acts crazy. Who busts through a door with that many? Like the door was locked and it had some wood on it. Like
Did you
he's
not see
that
him looking
strong.
through? He's like, I see you. I'm gonna scare you.
I see you, Joe.
And Joe's like,
I didn't even know that was him at first. I was like, who is this guy? Like, just coming to rescue. But yeah, that was. I mean, you knew that was gonna happen, but I didn't really think he was gonna bust it. I thought he was gonna wait for
Mr.
Masterson to
Really?
come.
No, I knew. I was like, he was gonna
Yeah.
bust through the door.
He ain't the type to
I'm
wait.
surprised he didn't go through the window since he's
Since he doesn't know how to use a door.
doors. He's godly. Him with the door, Charlie with the trees. It's like everybody has these things.
That door was actually made from oak. It was the awkward oak door.
I can't.
But no, so it just became kind of a party at the end.
Everybody was invited. No, I get
no,
it.
like everybody's
Never
invited.
invite me to your parties. Never.
That's
Well,
where I
like,
want to be.
but it's like Lacey and Danny are there, and it's like, calm down, calm down. Kyle shows up with his gun. Let's escalate the situation.
And Cal
Tess
said
jumps
no.
in front of the gun.
And like, Tess, where the hell did you come from?
No.
Where did Tess come from? How
Well,
did
she
she know
just
they were
found
there?
out. She
Yeah.
just found out that Charlie is her kid.
But how did she know that they were there?
I'm sure the doctor said this. Here's the information where
The doctor was so eager to give up information.
Well, he was like, "Don't turn me in. I built this business."
Oh my God, this kid is obviously mentally messed up. Let me quickly tell him I'm his mom.
But who remembers something that quickly? I guess, $100,000
Yeah,
that butcher company. He was like, oh, I know who you are.
You can't cut her throat, because I'm your mom.
Hey, he was still holding at the end.
I know, it's
I
like...
was like,
Wait, no,
And
no,
then they cut off the scene with a gunshot.
no,
Which is very... No, they cut off the scene with a
Yeah,
gunshot.
you
oh, I
missed
didn't
that.
hear it.
no, I didn't hear it.
It sounded a lot like
It was a gunshot.
a gunshot.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, and the
Oh.
closed captioning said gunshot. So I'm assuming it was a gunshot.
We're not watching with the caption. Okay.
Sorry, guys. I'm terribly sorry that I found out it was a gunshot. So I don't know if that was just a sound effect or if that was actually a gun going off or if it's Kyle just being like, God damn, just to calm everyone down.
Charlie.
Wait, I love how Kyle gets out the car. He's trying to be sneaky, so he shuts the door quietly. Like, your daughter is in there
with a mad
point.
person.
You need to just leave that door open and run in there. Like,
Well, it's like, let me close my door silently so I can jump in there and just pull out my gun and like.
and he should know better than to escalate a situation with gunpoint when someone has a knife that
to
close.
your daughters.
Yeah. he
Well, I
should
think
know.
it was trying to take control of the situation. It was just Danny was also in the middle. It was hard. It was Danny was trying to take control of the situation, and then Kyle was trying to take control.
Too many
so
chiefs.
There were too many cooks in the kitchen. It was just too much.
And then Tess runs in with the cookbook. I got it.
Well, the Tess thing.
And then Karen runs in, throws a casserole at him.
Wait, no, leave Danny out of this. That's all I
my
care
God.
about.
All Karen's-
Everyone else gets
You can
thrown
kill
under the-
everyone else. Just give me my son
Danny.
back.
And she says that. But what's crazy is for Tess, like, did Tess think, I know that's your son, but he has your daughter to knife point. And I know you don't want him to die, but somebody's got to die. Somebody's
No,
gonna
I wouldn't say that.
But I think with her introducing that information, I think it struck a nerve in Charlie as well.
I thought he was going to put
You
the
know.
knife down.
He's just
but it
like, he's
seemed
like, what?
Yeah, he's not gonna go kill someone now.
He's like,
He's just
I
meeting
kissed-
his
yeah.
mother.
But
you
do
know.
you think, I would have think that would have made him angrier. Like, he's in love with his...
it. It got sick. It got
When
twisted
you
at the
think
end of
about
this
it, he's in
episode.
love
He's in love with his sister.
What does that make her? His sister, his
It was
half-sister.
crazy, yeah.
Half sister,
So
yeah.
that mess, you think about that, I get mad and be like, oh no, somebody's got to die. I'm going after Tess, I'm going after anybody. Because that messes you up.
Then they bring Andie and Rico up in there. What's going on?
We were on a date out here.
We heard a lot of noise.
So we do have to like run through a few more things before we wrap up because I want to get a few questions more out of Cynthy while she's here. So we have Whitney's character dealing with her mom joining them in this season, and I can't place her name, the
I can't
actress's name,
either.
but I've seen her in so many
Yeah.
things. Do you know the actress's name for her mother?
She plays really good
Oh,
comedy.
Elaine Hendricks.
Elaine
From
Hendricks, that's
Parent
right.
Trap.
I
Hello.
know, she's so...
Yeah.
I couldn't remember.
I couldn't
She's
remember her name.
wonderful. Yeah.
She always plays such a bitch, and I love it. It's great. She's so good at it. So she comes to get Whitney,
Yeah.
and she's kind of being like the hard fist of, we're leaving tomorrow. Hey, you're not even finishing school. We're leaving tomorrow.
Yeah.
And she's got a business suit on. She's like very well put together. She drives a Mercedes. They made it very big.
Yeah.
That she's
Obvious.
well off.
Yeah, they made it very obvious that she's well off, drives a Mercedes. She lives in New York, for Christ's sake, in the city. If you don't know, guys, that's a very expensive place to live.
I think we all know.
And so
She brings things to light about Whitney, which was
Whitney Crane?
great. Yeah. Lacey's like, dang, can I have one sane
felt-
friend?
and-
I felt sad
I felt
for
bad
our Twinkie.
for Lacey. It's just like, can she get a break? Like, everyone's lied to her. Everyone seems to turn her back on her.
Manipulate her.
And I felt like Whitney's character was supposed to be brought in to be
her friend.
Be her friend and be the person that, Lacey can lean on. And now it looks like, no.
am I the only one who thought of like Rush Hour 3 where with the woman and he's just like, we gotta have something, but you're a crazy bitch. Like that's what I think of Lacey and Whitney now. No, that's what I think of Lacey and Whitney now, cause it's like Lacey's like, oh, I love Danny, but he's not doing that, but like I don't know what I'm feeling for you, but then you lied to me, and it's becoming the same thing as it was with Danny. She couldn't take the lies, and that's why they're not together anymore. And now we have a character who's like a habitual liar. She was with the dean's son skinny dipping, which...
And she said she was always a lesbian. They took Whitney's character. I'm so confused now. And Brienne didn't give us anything when she came.
I know, she was like,
we're going to get you, Brienne.
Seriously, Brienne.
But it's crazy, like at first you think the mom's being mean and stuff, but you realize she's
being
been
honest.
through this with her daughter.
And she mentions Jack. She's like, those two are peas in a pod. They're the same. And so you got to imagine, like, did the stepdad or the mom's boyfriend even make a pass at her?
No.
Was that all part of the plan?
I don't believe anything she says now.
And what is her role in this?
The mom's?
No,
or-
Whitney.
No, Whitney. Because why did... Jack had Charlie. Jack had all that he needed. He's already in with Karen. What's Whitney's role in this?
I think it's money.
Well,
I
yeah,
think
didn't
her and
he-
Jack's role is trying to go after the $10 million.
No,
Didn't he
but
say
what's
something
Whitney's
like
role
that?
in this?
Didn't he say now we have the size? Didn't he say that at the end?
Yeah, he said we have this house. He said, you like this house? Mm-hmm. It's about the money. And clearly Whitney and her dad are in this whole little thing.
I thought they were going to kiss again. And at that scene, I was like, why do y'all keep alluding to this mother-daughter relationship?
Because they walk up to each other and then she was like, ooh.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I kind of like that weird atmosphere.
We asked Brianna about when she came down with the shirt. And it was like, why do they keep alluding like y'all and your dad are together?
Yeah, I have no idea. That actually, like, when I saw it on TV, I was like, oh, ooh, okay. So I can't, I don't know where that's going.
I don't know what if they do go there.
Because it's so obvious, too, how they do it. Like, I'm like okay.
We don't need any more of that with Charlie and
daughter. It's so good that we're together.
I can't remember.
It's creepy. It's so creepy.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Am I making you uncomfortable?
That voice was
That's why I put you over there.
unkind.
Didn't you know?
I do have a question.
You were waiting for.
Did Charlie and Joe ever make out or anything?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, on the sofa.
Tess talking about, we need to talk about the couch because you slept with some random guy, but I'm not going to mention that. But let's talk about the couch.
We're never going to see again. Where'd he go?
Do you know if they're going to bring back Tyler or any of those old characters?
Why would you know
I have no idea.
We've been talking about this forever.
It's like people will come and then they're just gone.
I went on the IMDb. I was like, oh, all these people were on here and they're gone. Okay.
It's just weird.
It is weird.
Yeah.
Well,
Anyway.
I mean, we got Sarita once this season. And I know that like class scheduling and things like that is probably what is.
Is that what it is? Class
No,
scheduling?
like we've gotten a lot of tweets that like the school schedule has been changing for people with filming and everything. And that's why some people have come, some people have left, which is sad because it does kind of hurt the consistency of the show when it's just out with the old, in with the new, when it's all still in the same season.
Yeah.
Because I would have liked the first half of the season to continue to the finale and then maybe get this be the storyline for next season. Because they really could have pulled this as the half-season finale for season 2 with the whole Charlie thing with everything, and that would have been great.
Yeah,
and that would have pulled me in.
We still had a lot of stuff with Lacey's boyfriend and like.
Well, that and at this point, if we don't get a season 2, it sucks. It really, really does suck because they really just busted the doors off the hinges for what could happen, and are we going to find out about things when this would have drawn all their viewership back for the second half of the second season, and then we could have had. I don't know what point they would have cut it off for the first season, though. Maybe with wrapping up the Marna Industries thing.
No.
We didn't see the mayor recently.
And the stuff with Regina.
Well, they mentioned Regina. They said, okay, Vikram paid a woman to kill Regina. So I guess that's kind of a fact now. They're really kind of like, they gave that line to kind of close that off.
Her off.
The private eye killed Regina, and I guess we know that now. Oh man, it was a crazy episode. I'm trying to think. So Whitney and Jack, their goal is the money. Do you think that's the only goal, or do you think they're going to bring back this Marna Industries thing?
I don't even. Do they want to be part of the family? I mean, Jack seems he doesn't care about Karen at all.
I think it's money motivates people to do great. $10 million in this little town, it's going to motivate people to do some crazy things.
I'm going to say again that Jack is the one that helped fake Vikram's death.
He said it. He said he did do that.
No. He said that he moved the body into the car and staged his death.
Oh, we're talking about the first
I'm talking about the boat because he's in the boathouse, things like that. And we kind of dropped that prediction when he was like so caught off guard by her asking if he had staged the car accident. But now that we know Jack's true character and how much he badmouths Vikram to other people, it makes me think that Jack was probably the one behind Vikram having to stage his own death. Or Jack, either that or Jack was the one that staged the death for him.
My question to ask is there more to Jack than just the money is because, okay, first he doesn't say anything when he gets put in jail, right? He's acting like he's trying to protect Danny and stuff. So I'm like, okay, do you kind of care about them? Do you want to like have this family unit and have the money?
He can't
and get everyone else out
without being with Karen,
marrying Karen.
and being with Danny. He can't get
So he's just trying to prove to Karen, oh, I love your son, so he can get in
So
more
hypothetically, he marries Karen, then he kills Danny.
Kills Danny, then kills Karen.
That's a lot. He would never get away. I mean, we're not going to even think that far.
You did talk about that.
We're not going to even think that far.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's one more thing we have to talk about because I know that fans they've been waiting this whole episode. They're like, why haven't you guys talked about this yet? Dang it, why aren't you talking about Janny? So many tweets. Awkward handhold, awkward arm grab. And then going for the hug.
Yeah.
Did you see
There's
when
no
she was
chemistry
like, it
there.
was like she was gonna kiss him and then she like cradled his head. I'm sorry, but I personally like the chemistry they have. It's kind of like the awkward, but it's like, it's so deep.
It's so brother sister to me.
No,
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't see that. I see it as like this deep.
Like it's so deep. Like
Yeah.
that's how I saw it. And I was like, that could be a beautiful relationship right
So let's just cut Lacey out, okay? Like, let's just throw Lacey to the side. You know, Charlie.
Hashtag Daisy's dead.
Oh,
Don't you
do
dare
that.
say that. He said that. Stephen said that. We didn't say that, Daisy fans.
Don't
We didn't
do
say
that.
that.
Erica said that off camera.
No, I did not. That was not
Everybody
me.
unfollow
My
her.
voice is not that deep.
They know it was you, Steve. I cannot believe.
He's just playing.
Don't go find him. I know where he lives. 1556 North.
I think we've kind of lost all hope for Daisy, honestly. At this point, I think if they do anything with her character, it's not going to be another relationship with Danny.
Danny,
It would be too redundant. I believe that Daisy is dead. Hashtag Daisy's dead.
Oh my gosh, you need
You need to
stop.
stop.
I think Lacey could come
bet on
back.
Lacey has not given up on it, obviously, and they're so blatantly in her face with it, Joe and Danny.
I think Wanny could actually come to be next season.
Wanny.
Whitney
and Danny.
What?
Yeah.
She has
Whitney
no
is-
entrance.
Whitney is very.
Honey?
She can be seductive. She can be. She's a liar.
I don't know.
She's very gorgeous, and you could see. I could see Whitney coming on to Danny because Danny doesn't know about Whitney and Lacey. He doesn't know any of that history there. So Whitney could technically have a secret thing with
We
Danny
would just
coming.
have to wait to see.
We will have to wait and see.
What do you
So-
think
So
is
many
going on?
possibilities.
Sometimes when like Rico is alone by himself and Lacey
Lacey
is
is
always there,
always
and they're
there.
always having. It's not like a full blown conversation that they have together, but it's like, are you
Moments.
okay? It's a
Yeah.
moment. They're like, are you okay?
Do you think they're gonna
there's
flesh
be a
that out?
friendship? Y'all all three start hanging out. You, Lacey,
Or
I know, right? I have no idea. I mean, yeah, they have definitely like some friendship moments. It was funny, in episode 19 when the four of us were at Johnny Cakes. I'm like, oh, I'm part of the cool kids.
that is.
Let's
like,
all go to Johnny Cakes.
And now y'all are kind of like the group hanging out.
Yeah.
Do you think that's going to be something?
I think there's the possibility of Rico and Lacey, maybe becoming better friends.
Yeah.
I thought that they were gonna try to like make them like a little item since
I don't
everybody's
think
kicked
that.
them to the
I
side.
don't
No
see
offense,
that
I'm
happen.
sorry, Andie. I wouldn't want to take Rico away from you.
I don't think that's gonna happen. I think that she might start hanging, like, cause they're honest. Like, not that everybody's well, yeah, everybody is dishonest, but they seem like the honest
Honest
people,
people,
and
yeah.
the people who are not gonna lie. She's gonna get tired of that and be like, these seem like some good people over here.
I see Andie breaking Rico's heart.
Oh.
Because I
Oh my gosh, it was like when they had hashtag is Andy cheating?
Why did they do?
How many like tweets did you get? Like, how could you?
I got so many hate tweets. Like, you barely got Rico. How could you? And I was like, oh my God, keep watching, people, keep watching.
Do you have it? Do you find it hard trying to separate your character from who you really are to the fans and stuff like that?
I mean,
really Cynthy, okay?
I know. I'm like, keep watching.
I
I'll
love
just
it.
go along with y'all.
Yeah.
Just keep watching.
I am Andie, and it's going to be okay.
Right.
I did think
Wow.
it was funny because we made mention when your character started acting really funny with Rico, and it was like, why is she doing that? She worked so hard to get him, and now she's trying to push him away on the phone during a date.
Yeah.
He was
It's
after her
those
cookies.
games girls play.
Do girls do that when we think of guys after our cookies?
I don't know.
I don't know. Well, if you're Andy, apparently.
Look,
I think Andie's gonna break up with Rico because she's gonna know that he's still in love with Joe, and I think that's what's gonna come about. I believe that's gonna be the story arc for Andie, and then Rico's not gonna know what the hell to think because I think that'll probably come of Rico acting weird because he's probably just like thinking about the same thing you thought of last time, and it's gonna be another misunderstanding that ends the relationship. So let's ask you a little bit of things. We have a Twitter question here. Let me find who said it, but it was here, Rochelle Patterson, how do you think Andie has helped Rico's character to grow this season?
How has Andy helped Rico?
I mean, aside from him actually getting the chance to hold hands with a girl for the first time in his life.
Get us some action.
I think maybe he got. I think you gain a sense of confidence when you're with someone who really loves you for who you are. And I think because Andie is just so in love with Rico, he was able to just kind of be himself, you know, without fear of anything. So I love his character so much because he gets so many funny lines.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think maybe a sense of confidence just for being who he is. And I mean, he stood up for himself when, you know, Joe was running against me in the election. He
stood up for you.
Yeah, he was pretty assertive. I mean, I think as a character, I think he's, you know, I'm not saying he was never confident, but probably getting more confident when you're in a relationship.
Well, he definitely
with such an awesome gal.
He plays it. I can't. For some reason, I always forget his name. The actor who plays Rico.
Ashton Moore.
Ashton.
Yeah, he plays it so well because it's just like the eye twitches. They're like, yeah, and you know, I.
It's funny he goes to our old school, and that's kind of how he is. Like he's kind of that.
Yeah.
And it's so weird to see pictures of him off camera because he always has that like the
His
shadow,
facial hair, yeah.
and you're just like, you look so much different with facial hair. It's kind of crazy. Can you tell us any like fun stories from set?
Funny stories from set. Gosh, I don't know.
These are hard-hitting questions right here, Cynthy.
Yeah, no, we have all kinds of fun. I don't know. I love Maddie. I love Joe. She is so much fun. I know she plays a really, you know, serious and, you know, I guess twisted character.
Phenomenal.
But I think she's really phenomenal. She's amazing to watch. And she's just a goofball offset. So I love her. I don't know. I can't think of any like specific funny thing.
So like Jack doesn't jump out of oak trees and scare you? Or?
Charlie's not
No,
hiding.
he's super cool. He's a super cool guy, amazingly talented to be normal 1 second and then to be psycho the next.
He does play the role very well. not as a dig, but it's you have to have good chops to be able to jump into a character like that and have it be believable.
Yeah, he's very, very talented, and Avin is just so funny. He's very, very funny. Like in between takes, sometimes he'll just do something, and I'm just like, what? Like that just came out of nowhere. But
I actually got a tweet saying that Avin would be great to see my impersonation of the "I killed my father," and I thought, I was like, I don't think he'd like that very much, and they're like, no, he think he would. So. You tell me, do you think he would hate the impersonations or no?
I think he would laugh at you and himself. He has a really good sense of humor. So.
Okay, that's what they said, but I was kind of like,
Y'all have such an attractive cast. Everyone is so attractive. I'm like, what is this, like a mini soap opera?
Television.
I'm like, y'all are well dressed. It's like, I love it. And with all the twists and turns, you know, y'all like to throw, I like how y'all throw like the fashion and, you know, just people that are relatable still. So dream role, they put you on as series regular for Twisted season 2. Where do you see your character going? Where do you want your character to go? If you could choose any path and punch the writers in the face if you want to. You would never do that. I'm just saying.
No, the writers are really talented, but obviously if I was to make a show where I could choose where my character wants to go, definitely building on Andie's character, just not breaking out of her shell more, being a more confident girl, and of course getting involved somehow. I was just saying, how crazy would it be for, you know, the sweet, honest person to actually
that's what I was
thinking. Be
a part
to have some secrets of herself and to be part of the, you know, the whole plot.
Because you don't know, you don't know any of this. You don't know what's going on with Danny's father, do you?
Well, I know what
Rico
I know what Rico tells me and what I hear and you know, get from during school.
Yeah. But you don't know the extent because it just seems like you're not really tainted by everything that's
totally.
going on
I'm definitely
you.
not in their loop. I'm very much involved with the school activities and my future. And
she's so oblivious. I love it.
Yeah.
Just going to school. People are dying.
I love how there's like, you forget. I feel like your character and Rico's character kind of pulls us back that they're
high schoolers.
They're high schoolers. There's a school. They are still living this high school life that there's just so much other stuff going on. So
definitely.
It's the anchor.
Y'all are the anchor. I thought that in the beginning. I was like, they introduced this character, your character, Andie. I was like, is she some type of ties to what's going on here?
Yeah.
And
the reality.
I thought that they would like tie you in. I was like, oh, what would they do? You know,
I know.
Secretly a psycho too.
I don't know. I think it. A lot of the scenes that I'm in, I'm just kind of. It's just fun to break it up a little bit, and it's high school, you know. So
it does make it feel.
So can you choose? I want you to choose the hashtag ship name for you and Rico right now.
Oh my gosh.
And set the record straight for Andie and Rico. And Randy is just a terrible one. I don't like that, so I'm not going to use it.
Oh my gosh.
Ando?
Andico.
Andico?
Andico.
I like Andico.
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 Andico. All right,
cool.
guys, hashtag Andico. We're going to actually wrap it up here because we ran out of time, sadly. Twisted? Twisted! We got to do it one last time.
Fine.
I killed my father! Had to do it once. I love you guys. Let's go ahead and roll in this outro music because we are unfortunately out of time. We have about 8 more shows to knock through tonight, and sadly, we have been going for about 55 minutes, which is great. I'm so glad you could join us today for our after show, especially for the finale. I do hope you are back on next season for Twisted Season 2, and I hope it gets renewed. Hashtag renew Twisted or Twisted Renewal. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what's trending right now.
I honestly don't either. These Twitter
There's
people
a
are
lot
crazy.
of them.
They're gonna get you.
They are gonna get me. They're gonna. Hey, I've gotten good tweets recently.
Fine.
We love Stevie.
Oh, where can you
They
find
really
us at?
shine out from the negative tweets. You can find me on Twitter at Stephen Lemieux. It's right down under here, StephenLemieux, and you can find Lina
At Just Lina Green on Instagram and Twitter.
At Erica J. Green, EricAJaYeGreen.
At Cynthy Wu, CYNTHYWU.
You guys, you need to follow Cynthy because she does not have enough followers. And seriously, if you love Twisted, you're going to love Cynthy and you're going to love to follow her career and see where it blossoms into. Thank you so much for joining us for Twisted Season 1, Episode 19, A Tale of Two Confessions. Again, have a great time. We'll see you next season.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
Thank you for watching AfterBuzz TV on YouTube. For more of your favorite after shows and interviews, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion on the episode in the comment section below here. We'd love to see what you guys are buzzing about. Thanks again. Buzz you later.